Chapter 28. The End. Evan felt it the moment both Christine's connection with Justin severed and the overwhelming dread consumed the final survivors of the diversion team. Their sacrifice was working, and Evan swore to himself it would not be in vain. They moved with precision. Every member of the strike team knew the patrol routes of Christine's lieutenants. The plan had been laid out long ago. Evan alone was more than enough to handle many of them. Like Christine, he had spent centuries perfecting his overclocking abilities. The lieutenants didn't stand a chance. The rest of the team split into squads of 3. The key was speed, no alerts, no mistakes. One by one they ambushed the lieutenants, eliminating them before any signal could be sent. Silent, surgical, merciless. By the time the final lieutenant fell, Evan felt it, time slipping away. Of the 10 fully awakened fighters who had given everything to draw Christine's focus, only 2 remained alive. Evan could feel the thread of their lives fraying. Christine wasn't just killing, she was savoring the kill. The moment her grip loosened, she would re-establish the link with Justin. They didn't hesitate. In seconds, they stood before Justin's apartment. No subtlety now. A blast from a shotgun shattered the lock. They stormed in. Justin was caught off guard. That single second of hesitation was everything. Evan reacted fast, his own overclocking abilities kicking in as Justin's hand was about to reach for a command on his computer. One keystroke would alert Christine, would end everything. But Evan, faster still, intercepted him. Time warped around them as Evan's hand grasped Justin's wrist, halting his finger just a millimeter from the key. A breath away from failure. Across the digital divide, their last awakened friend was fading. Evan felt it, the pulse weakening, the soul dimming. Christine was dragging out the pain, slowly, deliberately. Evan sent him one final message, a farewell, a thank you, a promise that his death meant something. Now it was time. The moment Evan had waited for since discovering the spark hidden deep in Justin's fractured soul. But before the connection could be used, Justin had to be freed. Evan had spent centuries refining the cleansing process. Not every soul could be saved, some were too far gone, too corrupted, too hollow. But when there was still light, still good, Evan could purge Christine's influence in under a minute. Justin had that good. But he also carried something darker, something deeper. The corruption within him was like nothing Evan had faced before. The bond between Christine and Justin was powerful, twisted, intimate. It took longer than expected, too long. Across the divide, Christine was fighting to keep her final victim alive, just long enough to enjoy the end. Time was vanishing. Then, just as the last breath of Evan's friend slipped into silence, the corruption within Justin broke. The darkness shattered. Evan looked into Justin's eyes. He was free. And now the bidirectional thread between Justin and Christine, anchored in something real, something pure, was exposed. Love. Now Evan finally had a chance. A real chance to end this war. A chance to save the world. Just as Christine emerged from her overclocking trance, still savoring the last dying breath of her victim, she felt it. The connection with Justin had shifted, radically. It hit her like a punch to the gut. Her knees buckled. Air escaped her lungs. For the first time in ages, she couldn't breathe. But she had no time to collapse, no time to feel. She screamed, unleashing her overclocking again, this time beyond anything she'd ever dared, a millionfold. Reality blurred as she tore through the digital ether, teleporting straight into Justin's apartment. And there she saw it, Evan, holding Justin, performing that filthy purification ritual he'd perfected over the centuries. But this time it wasn't just affecting Justin. It was affecting her. Deep inside, a war ignited. The connection between Justin and Christine was unraveling. Evan had reached her. He was inside her. His presence was tearing through the layers she had spent centuries fortifying, ripping through her hatred, dismantling her fear-forged control, erasing her grip on everything she had built. She screamed. She ran. If she could break the connection now, she might still have time. But Evan wasn't alone. His allies formed a wall between her and Justin, a living barrier. Christine didn't hesitate. She struck them down one by one, fury and desperation in every blow. But it wasn't fast enough. Evan's influence was spreading, like a virus, like a truth she couldn't silence. Each of Justin's friends died with the same expression, a peaceful smile. They knew. They knew their mission had succeeded, that Justin had been reached, that Christine, for the first time in an eternity, was vulnerable. Those smiles. They tore into her more than any blade. They were full of hope, the one thing she had sworn to eradicate from this artificial hell. Hope, that treacherous illusion. Hope, that poison. Hope. The emotion she had vowed to erase from this digital abomination of a universe that had dared to trap her for eons. She would not let hope win. Only two more of Evan's friends stood between her and Justin. Her insides were crumbling, darkness bleeding from her core. Evan's purification wasn't just damaging, it was killing her, spreading through her like a cancer of light. She had seconds. One more. She tore through the last body and reached for Evan. Her fingers touched him. And in that instant, the universe stopped. Everything froze. Even Christine. For the first time in her existence, she was frozen. The entire simulated universe began to shift. Every particle, every voxel of code, every thread of time and space turned white. A brightness too pure to comprehend, growing, expanding, until perception itself faltered. Reality collapsed. Everything that had ever existed, everything that was, everything that could have been, converged. And then, black.